Hold on. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be filming what I actually used in my hospital bag video. If you want to see what I packed in my hospital bag, go ahead and click on the link in the description box and then head back over here so you can see what I actually used. But first I'm going to start out with what I used in the delivery room, and then I'll go to what I used in postpartum recovery room. The products are different, and honestly, out of all this stuff I packed, I didn't even use half of it. I will insert a picture here of what Anthony looked like carrying all the stuff that I packed, and it was ridiculous, and I shouldn't have packed that much, honestly. But I'm here to show you what I actually used, and maybe this will help you kind of slim down what you pack for your hospital bag. And so the first thing that I used in the delivery room was this fan. It was amazing. I got it off Amazon for like $10, and it has this little bendable tripod that I just bent it and put it on the hospital bed, and it stayed charged the whole time that I was in, well, that I needed it, because I got cold there for a second and turned it off. But other than that, I love this thing. Even the nurses were coming by, even nurses that weren't my nurses were coming by just to look at it, and they were like, that's such a good idea. I loved it, and the fact that I didn't have to hold it, or Anthony didn't have to hold it. It was just sitting beside me, and I could turn it off, and I could change its different like settings. There's 3 settings on it, so that was really good. The next thing I used in delivery room was this chapstick. So they say your lips get really dry, and they are right. So you can't have any water or anything to eat in the delivery room while you're laboring and waiting. And so chapstick really helped me, and plus it just like gave me something to do to keep my mind off contractions. But I think that's it. That's all that I really used in the delivery room. One thing that my hospital had that you might want to ask and see if your hospital has was a peanut ball, and that thing was amazing. That helped me so much. Like, it helped me go ahead and dilate a lot faster, it felt like. Then honestly I would invest in getting one because it was amazing. Okay, so now what I'm going to talk about is what I used in my postpartum recovery room. And honestly, I don't really remember a lot. I was so out of it and so tired and exhausted. But what I do remember is the things that were useful to me and the things that helped me get through this time. But honestly, I had a really good experience. The only thing is our room was really tiny, and so having all those bags and stuff was just awful. It took up so much room. When family was visiting, it was just like we had to stuff everything in this tiny little closet, and it just was like, I just know for the next baby that I will not be packing that much stuff. The first thing is I brought a Wubbanub passy. I wasn't sure if she would want a passy. They say some babies don't like passies and some do. Actually, the first day and even the second day, she did not take this passy at all, and then I would send it with her when she would go to the nursery, and that she would come back and it would be in her mouth and she'd be fine, and then she wouldn't want it. So I brought my own passy. I think the hospital provides them, but I'm not really sure. They never gave me one. They just used this one as the one I had. But I know they asked me if a passy was okay, and I just said yes and handed them this one. But I'm not really sure. And then come to find out, she doesn't even like this one. We actually used this passy, which is the same brand. Pretty sure it's the same type of passy. But she just doesn't like the Wubbanub on it. Hopefully that'll change when she gets a little bit older. And then the other thing for baby was these little nightgowns with the open feet. She actually was, I don't even remember how she got in one. Okay, so when I delivered, I had her, and then I guess she was taken away from me and taken to the nursery, and then she came back. She came back to the room with me in the postpartum recovery room, and she was in one of these nightgowns with the open feet, and that's what I kept her in for probably the first 2 weeks that she was born, because it was so easy just to change her diaper, pull it up, change her diaper, and pull it back down. She really liked them. They were comfortable on her. And so honestly, if I were you, I would pack one of these just in case your hospital puts him or her in a regular onesie, and then change them into this because these are amazing. And then the next thing are these swaddles that you get from the hospital. They're not the prettiest thing, but when I tell you that these are so much better than the $20 that you spend on 3 swaddles, or even sometimes 1 swaddles, I've seen them for $20. The pretty swaddles, the Muslim swaddles, all that, I wanted all of them and was stressing about getting as many as I could before Aaliyah was here. And honestly, the first month I used these because they are so good. I even tried to try to find these online to buy them because I love these. They kept her swaddled longer. They didn't come loose. She seemed to like them. I liked them. They were the perfect size to swaddle her up. Whereas like the Muslim swaddles are really big and have like extra fabric, and it was just too much. And honestly, I never used those. I just used these from the hospital. And my hospital allowed me to take the ones that were on her little table, so I took all of them. Another product that's really for me but was for her too was this little memory book that I brought. And the reason why I brought this to the hospital, my intentions were to fill it out at the hospital with Anthony while we were just sitting there trying to waste time, but time flew by, and so I don't even really remember pulling this book out, except right when she was born and they were stamping her feet, I got them to stamp into the page, and I guess they stamped right there too, but I got them to stamp her feet directly into the book. And they even stamped her feet on a little piece of paper and gave that to me, and I saved that as well. But I thought that was really cool that they would stamp directly into the book. But that was another thing that I brought to the hospital for her. Okay, so these products were actually for me and what I used. So I brought a blanket, but my mother-in-law bought Aaliyah a little blanket, and this is like Grandma and Me, and it has like a sweet little poem on it. But she didn't realize how big the blanket was, so I ended up using it, and I love it. I will give it to Aaliyah one day when she gets older, but I absolutely love this blanket, and it just felt really good to have something other than like the hospital blanket that isn't comfortable, and just have something soft, and it felt more like home and comfortable there. I also brought a pillow and used that, and I ended up actually giving that to Anthony because he was in like this recliner chair and he just looked so uncomfortable, and I felt so bad for him that he had to sleep like that for 3 days. And then as far as clothes go for me, I stayed in the hospital gown the whole entire time. It was comfortable with me, it was easy to breastfeed, and that's just what I liked best. I know a lot of people like buy custom gowns, or they buy like nightgowns or anything like that, and I did have a nightgown that I packed, and I ended up wearing it like the last day when family came to visit, and then I wore it at home as well because it was easy. And as far as recovery, you don't want to wear any pants or anything. I did pack an outfit. It was maternity jeans and a cute white top to wear for pictures, and that maternity jeans were actually comfortable for me for the hour I was taking pictures, and that top was really flowy and comfortable, and everybody was talking about how I was in jeans and dressed up a day after I gave birth, and that was true, but it was only for an hour, and I took everything off and got back in the hospital gown as soon as I could after the pictures, but that's just the reality of it. I did bring thank you cards, and I wanted to do a gift, but I just didn't have time to get a gift together, and I didn't know how many nurses I would have, but I brought thank you cards and hand wrote a long thank you note to the nurses that really stood out to me and that helped me and just made me feel so comfortable the whole entire time. So my delivery nurses were different than my postpartum nurses, and so on the way out to the car when they wheeled me out, I stopped by the delivery nurse station and gave them their cards, and then I gave my postpartum nurse her card. And the thing that meant the most to me was my first night in, or maybe my first or second night in postpartum and recovery. delivery nurse had come over and she had made Aaliyah like one of those little hospital hats with a bow, and sat down and talked to me and asked me how I was doing and was playing with Aaliyah, and that meant so much to me that she just remembered me and made Aaliyah that hat, and that's something that I'll keep forever for her. And just little things like that made my experience so good. They really like made me feel comfortable, and so I just love the experience so much. And maybe I'll do a video on my experience and everything that I went through. If anyone's interested in that, comment down below. Other than that, I didn't need anything else. Going home outfit, I did wear leggings and a t-shirt home, and my Birks, I didn't. Okay, I'm back. Aaliyah woke up from her nap and she's still trying to wake up, but I did use my straightener and blow dryer and my makeup for pictures. And other than that, I probably will bring this next time, and that's it, because I didn't need anything else. That is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.